Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. Today is another episode of Midweek Worship, and we're Two Cities Church. If you're new to this broadcast, I just want to say thanks for connecting with us. My name is Jeff, and our church created this broadcast to help you understand your faith a little bit better. So during the course of this broadcast today, we're going to study about Jesus. We're going to look at the Bible. We're going to sing a song. We're actually even going to do a little exercise today. And I got a pretty funny video that I think you're going to like. But it's our way of just helping you understand the basics of the faith. So thank you for joining us. And when this broadcast is over with, look below me. You'll see a link to a YouTube video. If you check that video out, it'll tell you more about this church, more about who we are and why we're doing this broadcast in the first place. Today, we tackle a new concept as we study who Jesus is. The big theological topic that we've been looking at for a couple of months now is called Christology. It is the study of Jesus Christ. Today, we look at Jesus as mediator, and that word mediator means a go-between, someone who steps between two parties. Now, I'm going to give you a verse of scripture from the Bible to memorize, but I want to help us to prepare our hearts to hear from the Bible. I want us to prepare our hearts to answer a question and to put into practice what we're learning from the Bible today. And the best way I know to prepare our hearts for that is to sing a song of praise to King Jesus. So I'm going to turn things over to Pete and Alicia DeWitt, and they're going to lead you in a song, and then after this song, we're going to look at Hebrews chapter 9 together. Take it away, Pete and Alicia.
I choose this day to be grateful, Lord. I give you praise with an open heart. I'm waking up to heaven. I'm waking up to you. I choose this day. I choose this day to be grateful, Lord. I give you praise with an open heart. I'm waking up to heaven. I'm waking up to you. I'm waking up to heaven. I'm waking up to heaven. Waking up to you. So we thank him for always being good, for always being good. Thank you for your mercies that are new. Thank you in spirit and in truth. Oh, we thank you. I'm telling you, your faithfulness, like the sunrise, your endless love reaches past the skies. Waking up to heaven, waking up to you. I'm waking up to heaven. my joy to thank you. What an honor. Oh, it's my joy to thank you for your mercies that are new. Thank you for your mercies that are new. Thank you. Oh, in spirit and in truth. Thank you. I'm telling you, thank you for calling me your friend. For calling me your friend. Thank you. You stand in my defense. Thank you. Oh, your love, it has no end. Thank you. I'm telling you, thank you. I'm telling you, thank you. Oh, just tell him thank you over and over and over. I'm telling you, thank you. I'm telling you, thank you.
Thanks, guys, for leading us in that music. Okay, so now what I want us to do for just a second is I want us to look at a verse of the Bible. As a church, we memorize one Bible verse each week. Most of these Bible verses are very simple, very short, which means you can memorize them in about 10 or 15 minutes. Well, tonight's a little bit bigger. And if you were with us last week, you were like, whoa, Jeff, you hit us with a big one last week. Well, tonight is a little bit bigger, but I really do think you need to hear this entire Bible verse. I think you actually need to hide it in your heart. That's the language the Bible uses about memorizing verses from the Bible. And the reason we hide it in our hearts is so that later on, at a key point in your life, when you're struggling with something spiritually or maybe emotionally, this Bible verse is already in your heart. You don't need to go open the Bible and figure out a place to read. You've already put it in your heart, and the Lord will bring it to your mind at a time where you need it most. So I'm going to put the verse on the screens. If you got the family gathered around, I want you to read out loud with me this verse. And then this week, I want you to break this verse into little bite-sized segments, and I want you to commit the whole verse to memory by adding a little bit more to the Bible verse each week, maybe sitting down at the dinner table each night this week. Add a little bit more until you've got all of Hebrews 9:15 memorized. Here's what it says. Therefore, he, speaking of Jesus, therefore, he is the mediator of a new covenant, so that those who are called might receive the promise of the eternal inheritance, because a death has taken place for redemption from the transgressions committed under the first covenant. Hebrews 9:15. Now, there are several really, really important thoughts in this one Bible verse, and that's why I'm asking you to memorize the whole Bible verse. The very first thought in this Bible verse is calling Jesus a mediator. I said at the beginning of this broadcast today that the word mediator means someone who steps between. You probably seen on a t-shirt, on a poster, maybe you've never actually been to Rome and seen the picture at the top of that famous cathedral in Rome, Italy. But there's that famous image of God reaching down from heaven and Adam reaching up from God, and they're pointing their fingers at each other, and there's a little gap between those fingers. And what the brilliant artist who painted that ceiling of the Sistine Chapel was showing is that God is pure, God is perfect, God is holy, and man was created to be pure and perfect and holy. But then Adam sinned. And after Adam sinned, he's no longer perfect. He's no longer holy. And God can't tolerate anything less than pure and perfect and holy. And now God's reaching down to Adam, And Adam is reaching up to him, but there's a problem. God is perfect and Adam is not. And you'll notice that those fingers never touch. That's very, very important. That's why those two fingers, not the whole painting, but just the two fingers, end up on t-shirts and billboards and bumper stickers. And what that painting is trying to say is that there has to be somebody that connects Adam to God and God to Adam. That connector is a person, and the word that we would use to describe that connector is mediator. You can't reach God on your own. And God, because He's pure and perfect, will not step down to my level or your level. Even the best person that's ever lived on the planet who's tried to be a good boy or a good girl cannot make their way to God on their own, and God will not step down to their level. So God sent a mediator. His name is Jesus, and Jesus became the go-between that could make Adam and God connect again, because sin broke that connection. Well, we use connecting technology, connecting resources all of the time. You use it and you don't even think about it. The internet, cell phones, television. There's a receiver and there's a transmitter, and something is sending the signal from one to the other. Even satellites in space, all of those things are forms of this. And I want to do a little exercise. It's actually going to sound a little bit silly. So in order to prepare you for this exercise, I've got this really short video clip. It's from a scene with Adam Sandler in the movie Grown Ups. And children have been taken to out to nature to go spend some time together, and all of their technology has been taken away from them. And as you can imagine, they're going berserk without having all of the modern technology that they have today. And moms and dads tried to bring their children together so that they would hang out and connect with each other and develop friendships and also learn how to live without technology. And there is a rule to put the cell phones and the video games away. And then mom and dad hear some talking upstairs, and they run upstairs to go investigate the talking. And now you get a chance to see what the talking is. Check out this clip, will you?
What's up, Dad?
Are those cup phones?
Yeah, Charlotte's on us. Cool, huh? Hey, check out Becky's.
Look, Dad, I've cup waiting. I gotta call you back. I'm on SpongeBob. Was that a turkey?
Yo, Andre, can you hear me?
Where's the player? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
The best thing about these is we can leave a cup in the shower and use the Jasmine clean herself tomorrow morning.
Oh my God! Hey, I borrow this. Attention, children. There's been a request from the phone company. Would you please install cup phones in every adult bedroom right away? Thank you.
Anybody ever do that paper cup and string game? You can actually hear a human voice pretty clearly as it travels from one paper cup along a piece of string to another paper cup. What you're hearing in the cup phone clip from the movie Grown Ups. Well, I've got a question for you. I'm going to put this question on the screens. I want to explain the question, and then when this broadcast ends, I want you to talk about it and I want you to answer the question. Here it is. What technology enables you to talk across the world? Now notice, I want you to list all of the technologies. What is it that makes it possible through the internet, through satellites, through cell phones, through landlines, if you've ever used a landline before? What makes those things possible? I want you to think about the thing that connects one person on one side of the world and another person on the other side of the world. What connects these two together? What's the technology that makes that possible? But this isn't purely an academic exercise. And then imagine that there is this uncrossable, no human technology can bridge this gap between one side and the other kind of chasm or gap. That's the gap between a holy God and a sinful man. And someone stepped in and mediated that gap and made it possible for you and I as sinful people to be connected to a totally pure and a perfect God. Jesus Christ, our mediator, through his perfect righteousness, made it possible for us to connect with God and for humans to be able to commune and to connect with God in heaven. Thanks for joining us. See you next week on MidWeek Worship.